Welcome to the deep dive. So we're tackling investing today, trying to build wealth. It often feels overwhelming, right?
Totally. So much noise out there.
Exactly. So today we've got some material looking at, well, smarter investment strategies. Our mission really is to find a practical way through all that confusion, build some security.
Yeah, and it's true. People get hit with so much information, they worry about losing savings, see all these choices,
And then just freeze.
pretty much. Do nothing. But the material we looked at points to this really helpful framework, the SMART criteria.
Smart criteria. Okay.
Think of it like a GPS for your investments. Helps you get to financial freedom.
Okay, SMART. Not just a clever name, I'm guessing. It actually stands for something, right? Especially for
Yeah.
managing money.
Uh-huh. Each letter means something specific.
Right, so let's unpack it. The S specific, what does that really mean when I'm trying to adjust?
It means getting past just, vague ideas.
Mhm.
Like instead of, I want to invest, a specific goal is more like, I want to put $10,000 into, say, an index fund within 2 years,
Yeah.
specifically for my kids' education.
Ah, okay, so real clarity.
Exactly. That focus directs your actions, helps you avoid just jumping on random investments that don't really fit your plan.
Right, because just, throwing money at the next big thing isn't really a plan.
Okay, so M is measurable. How does that keep us on the right path?
Well, you need to know how you'll track it, right? So using that education fund example, you'd measure it by maybe how much you contribute each month
Okay.
and how much the fund itself is actually growing. These numbers, these checkpoints, they keep you motivated.
And tell you if you're actually getting there.
Yeah, exactly. Without measuring, it's super easy to just lose sight of what you were aiming for.
Makes sense. So we know the destination and we can see the mile markers. Now, achievable. How do we make sure we're not setting ourselves up to fail or being too timid? Good question. This one's really key for staying motivated. If you aim for crazy high returns or save way more than you realistically
And you
can,
just get discouraged.
right, you might just quit. So it's about setting goals that stretch you a bit, but are actually possible based on, your income, your situation, how much risk you're comfortable with.
So you don't end up taking wild risks just to hit some impossible number.
Precisely. Setting yourself up for steady progress, not just frustration.
Got it. Okay, next is R for relevant. How do we ensure our investments actually line up with our bigger life goals?
Yeah, this is important. Your investments should help you get somewhere, right? They're not the goal themselves. So relevance means checking that your investment choices actually support your main financial objectives. Like if your big goal is saving for retirement way down the line.
Then maybe chasing quick, speculative stocks isn't the right fit.
Exactly. It might not be relevant to that main goal. It's about making sure all the pieces of your financial strategy are working together.
Okay, so it all connects to the big picture. And the last one, time-bound. Why the deadline? Why is that so crucial?
Deadlines create urgency and focus. Instead of vaguely thinking, I'll save for retirement someday.
Which could mean never.
Right. Setting a target retirement age, maybe working backwards from there, it creates real steps, real milestones along the way.
Put some pressure on in a good way.
Yeah, it helps you prioritize saving and investing now. Without that time frame, those long-term goals,
Yeah.
they just keep getting pushed back.
Okay, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART. The source material really seemed to emphasize this as a core tool.
Absolutely. The main benefit, I think, is how it turns these big, fuzzy financial dreams into actual concrete plans you can follow.
Right, takes the emotion out of it.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a rational structure for making decisions. And that seriously increases your chances of actually hitting your goals and, importantly, reduces that feeling of being totally overwhelmed.
And there was even a case study, wasn't there? Someone who actually did this.
Yes, exactly. The material mentions someone who applied these SMART principles. They set very clear, measurable goals, realistic timelines, and made sure it was all relevant to what they wanted long term.
And the time-bound part helped them stick with it.
Absolutely. Because the goals had deadlines, they maintained discipline, they stayed focused on their investment strategy.
And the results.
Significant progress, real growth towards financial security. It showed how that focused, smart approach really worked in practice.
That T for time-bound really does seem to keep your feet to the fire, doesn't it?
It really does. It's often the difference between just wishing for something and actually making it happen.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be that these SMART criteria, They aren't just, a nice acronym, they're a practical foundation.
Yeah, a foundation for building financial freedom, something to guide your decisions consistently.
It empowers you, basically, gives you control.
Precisely. Takes you from passenger to driver of your financial future.
Okay, so quick recap. SMART specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. It's a framework to cut through the investment noise and tackle those hurdles that stop so many of us.
And what's interesting is you don't even have to tackle all 5 at once.
Ooh.
Yeah, the sources suggested that even just focusing on one part, like making your goals really specific, can make a big difference right away.
That's a great point. Easier to start small. Okay, so here's something for everyone listening to think about. What if you applied just one part of SMART, maybe making a goal specific or time-bound to your finances right now? How could that bring a bit more clarity, a bit more direction?
Good question to ponder.
Definitely. Thanks for diving deep with us today.